Okay, hi. I've got everything set up here to try something new that I haven't tried before. So I have this OBS screen capture software up, and I've got my camera here acting as a picture-in-picture, and I'm going to go through the process of researching some items and see what they're worth, see if they're worth listing on eBay, and then get them all listed. At least get drafts written, and then I'll come back later and take photos of these items. So most of the day today I spent finishing up listings of some Harley Davidson t-shirts I talked about in my last video. And they were, sometimes you get these things and you don't really see the problems with them until you get them home. Or really, I get them under the lights here in my photo studio and I can see there's problems. So a lot of these shirts had holes in them, a lot had little stains. I think that that might not be a problem. In fact, it might be like, people want to buy stuff that's pre-distressed. So it might be fine, but I was going to list everything separately, but I decided to just lot up similar things together. So like 3 or 4 t-shirts, 3 or 4 tank tops, just the women's clothes, put it together. So I'll probably end up with just like 10, maybe 8 or 10 listings instead of the 20 or 22 I was thinking about. But anyway, I got through almost all of that. And there are a few other things hanging around, but those shirts were the last of the most, they were basically the last of the most recent inventory stuff that I brought in from sourcing trips. So now I've delved into my little death pile closet and I pulled out a bag, and I do not remember buying any of this stuff. I won't. Luckily, all of this stuff came from the Goodwill, and they still have the stickers, so at least I'll know what I paid for these things. But I won't know how to estimate when I purchased them. And I would say most of this stuff I don't have any memory of purchasing. So I would say it's been at least a year since I brought this stuff home. So I haven't not I like I said, I haven't done this before. So forgive me if I'm confusing or if I'm skipping over details. I'm just gonna go through maybe 3 or 4 items and figure out how. I'll show you how I figure out the price that I'm going to charge for stuff, and then go through the whole process of creating a draft for an upcoming listing. So, okay, let's start right here. I have this. I think you should be able to see it okay. It's a little, I think it's going to be like a wind up character game of some kind, it's like a football game where you wind these 2 characters up. I don't think you can see, $1.99 from the Goodwill. So typically I would open this. It's taped closed, so I probably never even opened this before. Oh, this side's open. Okay, what's in here? There's a little blue tag that's probably not related to this. It's like a little plastic thing. I had one like this, similar. Is this Tomy? Yeah, this is made by Tomy. The other one I had was like a bowling game, and it was very similar to this. And it had bowling pins that you set up on one end, and then a little wind-up bowling ball. So these guys are wind-up football players. I guess there's 2 footballs here. I guess they probably kick the ball. I don't really know how it works, but it's good to see that these guys do work. When I do go to list this, I will definitely wind these up and set them in motion and get a video of it so people can see that they do work. This one doesn't work that great. The other one works pretty good. Blue one, not so great. Anyway, let's start looking this up. So all we can really do with this is check to see if there's a UPC code, and this is too old for that. So this is probably, I don't see a date on here anywhere. That's one of the first things I'd be looking for when I do my search for comparable sales, but I don't see any date on here. So let's just go into, so here's eBay. You could just search right here and you'll find current listings. I'm going to use a little technique that I learned from Justin Resells on YouTube. It's a good resource if you're starting out. He has really nice videos that help you figure things out. So I never heard of this before. It's called site search shortcuts. So you can create these in whatever browser you're using. It is a little bit complicated, so I'm not going to go through the process of creating these. But Justin has written up step by steps how to do it. If you just Google site search shortcuts and put in whatever browser you're using, you'll find the steps to do it. But basically what it is a way to search any site in the way that you want to search without having to change any URLs or presets or anything. So for me, I'm going to put in the window here, E, which means E space. So then I think you can see right there. Can you see my pointer? It says search eBay active. So I wrote that, I created this name. So anytime I put lowercase e and put something in there, and then whatever I type is going to search eBay, the active listings, and then in the order from cheapest to most expensive. So that's the way I set it up, the way I want to see it. So let's put in here Tommy Funny Football, and then I'm going to copy that so I can paste it in a second somewhere else. Okay, 51 listings, and these prices are not encouraging right off the bat. $8.99, $19.99, but now so there's 51 currently listed. You can see right here 51 results for Tommy Funny Football. And then I'm going to go into a new tab. Can you see this new tab? Yeah, go to a new tab, and I'm going to put ES space, and that's my code to search eBay sold. You can see up there, and I'm going to just paste in that Tommy Funny Football and hit enter. And now it's going to show me the completed sold listings of this same item. This is everything that's sold in the last 3 months, and it's sorting that from highest to lowest. So right now we're looking at one that was $40. They took an offer round. We don't know what that was. The next highest one is $23.99, $18.34. So these are just getting cheaper and cheaper all the time, even with the box. Whoops, I don't want to do that quite yet. So I have the box. This is the bowling one I was talking about. So they were asking for 40 for the football and the bowling. You can see. Let's see if I can get you the original listing. So there it is. That's the bowling ball and the football game. So we don't have that. We just have the football game. So the highest one sold for $24. So this isn't going to be a great sale for us. You can see there are only 9 sold, and there are approximately 50 currently listed. So that's a pretty bad sell-through rate right now. That means like this is like a supply and demand issue. So there are 50 currently available, and then the evidence tells us that fewer than 50 people are interested in it. In this case, only 9 people were interested in the last 3 months to buy this. So I'm looking at what's currently available. Whoops, I closed that tab. Let me reopen that closed tab. Get rid of this one. We don't need it. The cheapest one is $8.99. The most expensive one is, okay, there's not quite 50 because it switches to these t-shirts that are higher up. So the most expensive one is selling for $24.99. So I think what I would probably do here is go like 10% up. So there's 51. Let's say there's 50 currently listed. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. These are supposed to be in order of lowest to highest, and sometimes eBay's sorting gets out of whack, and it does not. It doesn't list things in the order that they're supposed to be. Anyway, I'm just going to go about halfway through here and pick one. And let's see, let's find one that has the box, because I have the box. Okay, this one, they're only selling for $13.75, but they're charging $8.70 shipping. So I'm probably going to charge a flat rate shipping, $7.22. That's one of my flat rates that I use. So let's go into here, and then we'll find this little button that says have one to sell now, and we're just going to sell one that's similar. And for whatever reason, this has been happening a lot lately, where you click the sell similar or sell now button and it opens it in your cart instead. So this is another glitch with eBay. This is annoying. Trying to explain my process, and my process is figure out some way to work past these stupid glitches. So I'm going to refresh this page. Hopefully the glitch won't happen again, and I'm going to click this sell now again and see what happens. Okay, so it did go to a new listing. This says vintage, I don't like to put vintage as my first word, so I'm going to remove that and I'm going to put it at the end. If I knew the year, if it was on the box, I would put that on there now. Let's see if there's any possibility that there's something on the actual game that says the year. No. If I had that year, I would really approve of that. I would like to put the year in here. I'm not going to put Taiwan in. I don't think that's a search term that anybody would be looking for. I'm not going to put works great because I don't think it, I think one of these guys might not work, but I'm going to have to test that a little bit more as we go. But I'm going to put Tomy, funny football game, complete. Pretty sure it's complete. I'm going to put with box plus. I'm just going to put footballs. No, I'm just going to put balls, even though I think balls is already in football. The word ball is already in there, so anybody searching for balls will probably find that. I'm going to take this number out. I don't think that's necessary. Now I'm going to do something that might be controversial, but it's something I've been trying lately. I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to go to this listing where I have eBay title optimization. So I'll just put the current title that I have in here, and then ChatGPT will offer me a better option. So he's saying vintage complete with box and balls. I was hoping he would come up with more keywords, which sometimes he does. I've told it, like, try to fill my prompt is to follow eBay best SEO practices and try to get me as close to 80 characters as possible. So right now it's only 61 characters. So I probably should be thinking of other words that somebody might be searching for. Maybe retro, probably not, but maybe wind up. I'm usually happy if I get over 74 characters, but I do have 6 characters left there. I could put more in here. And there's words like rare people use. That's not a word that people search for. You might want to put a word in like that if you just want to draw attention to it. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to go. I have my spreadsheet here, and pretty soon I'm going to stop doing this because it's too labor intensive to keep track of every single item that I have for sale. But this spreadsheet has every item I have in my shop right now. These green and yellow ones are ones that are scheduled that haven't been listed yet. Everything below that is stuff that I'm kind of working on still. So I'm going to go down here. I know this came from Goodwill, so I'm going to put that in my from location. I don't know the date. Right now I'm just going to put some question marks. And I know this has a $1.99 price tag on it, so I'm going to put $2.20 here. And I'm going to clear these lower ones out, and I'm going to put Goodwill in these other spots too, because we're going to be going through more of these here soon. I'm going to put this question mark in there as well. So this is just my way of keeping track of sales. It's not necessary. I didn't realize this was unnecessary. I thought I had to do this for tax purposes. And so I built this elaborate spreadsheet, and I've been keeping track of everything like this for the last 4 years, I guess. And it absolutely is not necessary. But I'm continuing to do it for now because I've been doing it. And I think I'll continue through the end of the year, and then I'm going to stop doing this, and I'll just start tracking money out and money in big chunks, and not worry about this granular look at each individual item. The good thing about doing it this way, and maybe even recommended if you're starting out, is it gives you a way of tracking each individual item and what it's worth. So then you'll be able to tell, did I make a good buy or a bad buy? Once this item sells, I'll see, oh, I only made $2 on it. It's not worth buying one of these again if I see one in the store. If I wasn't keeping more, such precise track of each individual sale, I would not have that data in my head. But at this point, I don't think it's that necessary for me, so I'm going to get rid of it pretty soon. Okay, in eBay's custom SKU field, I put the amount that I paid for it, and I put a comma, and I put where I got it from. In this case, Goodwill, that's GW. And then I would normally put the date that I purchased it. I don't know that date, so right now I'm just going to put these question marks again. I might figure out the dates on some of these things in the future, but right now I don't know the date. Okay, by default, this custom label field is not active on eBay, so let me see if I can show you how to turn that on. So if you're in any listing, you can be editing a listing or creating a new one. You want to go up to the 3 dots here, open that up and go to settings. And then I already have it turned on, so you don't see it here, but there is an option to turn on that custom SKU field in this menu. There should be anyway. It's possible that they've changed it so that it is on for everyone. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's such a powerful thing. Once I have this totally listed, I'll come back in and I'll put my storage location in here. And then when this item sells, I'll know for sure exactly where it is, unless I put, sometimes I do put the wrong location in there. It has happened. Okay. So I recommend, if you don't have the custom label field on, figure out how to turn that on. You can just Google it if my little explanation here was not accurate. But Google it, figure out how to get that on, put whatever you want in here. This is the place where you can keep information that nobody else can see. So some people would just put it in the title. They would put their location where they have something stored in the title. It's wasting keyword space. You want to have as much in that field, in that title field, as possible. In fact, while we're here, I'm just going to put fun in. I mean, I have the space. Now we're up to 78 characters. I doubt anybody's searching for the word fun, but who knows? It's a short word that fits in there. Okay, now we go to the item specifics. If you think about these item specifics fields, like eBay pushes you to fill them all in. But if you think of them like extra search terms that you couldn't fit in the title, you'll quickly realize that you don't have to fill all this stuff in. So sometimes people will put like not applicable, or they'll put NA, or they'll put nothing. They'll write in these fields because eBay has encouraged people to fill out all of these item specifics, but it isn't necessary. Just think of it as a place to put extra words that you want people to search for, that you want people to be able to find if they're searching for those words. So in this case, UPC does not apply. You don't have to put it there. Don't have to put does not apply. It's not necessary. It's just a waste of your time. I'm copying somebody else's listing, so I probably don't have to take that stuff out, but it's not helping anything. So I usually just take stuff out if I'm copying someone else's listing. If I'm starting from scratch, then I would just not put that information in there. So, okay, here's the things that it's asking for. Character family, this is nothing. We can leave that blank. Color, multicolor. I doubt people are looking for the word multicolor, but this thing is actually tan. So I'll put tan in there. It's possible somebody remembers this from their childhood. Oh, what's that tan football game? And they search for it that way. Age level, it probably says in the box, from Tomy, made in Taiwan, number 7072. Sometimes games like this will say, for ages 8 and up, 8 to 12 or whatever. It doesn't say that. I don't think anybody's searching for that, so I'm going to leave that out. This person has put in 1970s. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to leave it in there. Where they have put does not apply, I know that they know this has a number, manufacturer's number, because they put it in the title. And that number is 7072. So I'll put that in there. It's in the title already, but I'll put it in there. The California warning, you don't have to put anything there unless there is some. This is like, if you know something about cancerous materials in the item, you're supposed to fill it in here. I've never put anything in there because I'm buying stuff from thrift stores. I don't know what these things are made out of. Okay, country/region of manufacturer. I would typically leave that blank unless the item I'm selling is made in the USA, for instance. Something that somebody might be searching for, like they might be just only trying to find games made in the USA. I would put USA in there if that was the case. If it was something like, if I was selling something like pottery, ceramics, and there's some country that is known for making high quality ceramics, I might put that in there. So in that case, I might put England or Germany or Japan. Vintage electronics, if you put made in Japan, that's a selling point. So if it's not a selling point, don't put anything in there. That's my advice, because it just takes time to do it. Okay, the next thing they're going to ask you is the condition. So there's a condition field here. Almost everything that I'm selling, I'm putting condition used. And then you have the option here to put in a description. Like I would say, Tomy, funny football. This is how I think it's going to turn out. Tomy funny football with original box and instructions. Original, spell that wrong. And then I might say includes both players, and both footballs. I'm going to guess a lot of these footballs are missing on these sets, so this is a selling point. I'll say one player works properly. I can't remember which one. The yellow one. Yeah, the yellow one. You can hear it clicking when you turn the wheel. This blue one, you can't hear it clicking. So something's not quite right with it. It might just need a little, oh, I don't know what it needs, but this is what I'll do. I'll put yellow player works properly, comma, blue player has trouble winding. So now somebody will know these are the problems with this machine or this game. I usually just put the problems. I'm not gonna say like beautiful condition, excellent. I'm not gonna put any kind of adjectives. I'm just putting in the facts and trying to keep this as quick and as short as possible. Then I typically just copy that condition description and put it in the actual description. If you choose new, brand new, it won't even give you the option to write anything in here in the condition field. So I'm not convinced that you have to fill out this condition field, because if you're making a listing on the eBay app, the condition field does not even exist. There's no way to even put that in there. So if they don't think it's important to be on their website and on their web app or their app, then I don't think it's probably important. But I typically don't mind doing it because I'm just copying and pasting the same information I would be putting down there. Okay, now we're going to go to buy it now or auction. I recommend basically buy it now in essentially every case. Unless you have a really, really good reason why you want to do an auction, I would not do it. I have an auction going off tonight, and it's just something that's like, it's a tackle box. It's full of tackle for fishing, and I have no way of even guessing how much it's worth. So I got it for free. I figured I'll start it at $20 or $24 or whatever. And then if anybody wants it for that price, it's fine. If two people want to fight over it, then that's great. But typically I'm going to recommend doing buy it now unless you really have a good reason for doing an auction. Like, you might be in a situation where you just need to get something out of your house and maximizing the profit isn't the most important thing to you. Then you might do an auction, because that auction is going to end in 7 days, and that item will either have sold or not sold. If it's sold, you can ship it and it's gone. If it hasn't sold, then it's probably not worth selling. With a buy it now, you have to just put a price and then it just sits, and until somebody buys it, you just don't know. You might, if you're shopping properly and doing well with the supply and demand thing with the sell-through rate, you might know you're not going to keep stuff for a long time, but you just never know. You just really don't know. So this game, I might list it today, and then it's going to take 2 years to sell. It's certainly possible. I hope it doesn't, but that's possible. So I was looking before, it's seeming like this thing is probably going to be like $12. So eBay is recommending $11.75. I never ever look at this, and I do not recommend using their advice here, because they don't know what you have. They don't know the condition of it. They don't know if it comes with extra batteries, or they don't know anything about it. They're just looking at things that have a similar search term and telling you this is what we think it's worth, but ignore that in most cases. In this case, it just happens to be pretty close to what I'm going to list it at. I'm going to start it at $11.99. Then I have payment policies. This is something, eBay has these business policies. A lot of people don't use them. I do use them. I'm not going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to skip that for now and go straight to this allow offers section, where you can decide whether you want somebody to be able to send you an offer. If you don't want them to, like, I only want that $12. I'm not going to take 10. I'm not going to take 5. I do like to take offers, but I don't like to take every offer. So I turn it on by clicking this blue button, and then I put a minimum offer, and I usually do about 80% of what the actual price I'm asking is. So in this case, 12 times 0.8 is $9.60. I usually round up or round down depending on this, where the decimal point is. So this one looks like a round up situation. I put $10. What this means is if anybody sends me an offer less than $10, it would immediately get rejected by eBay. And they have 5 chances to get to your minimum offer. eBay does that so people don't just go in and put 25 cents, 26 cents, 27 cents until they hit your minimum. They don't want people wasting everybody's time like that. So they only let you have 5 chances to put an offer in. So if you ever get a message from somebody that says, would you take $25? You're selling something for 30. They're probably sending you that message because they've already sent you 5 offers that have been auto rejected. So then you can size that person up and decide, this is somebody that I want to do business with or somebody that I don't want to do business with. So I'm going to just put 10 in there. People have different ideas about this. I even go back and forth on whether I should do it because maybe somebody's going to send me a $2 offer, and that's going to open up an opportunity for me to send them a counter offer of $11, and then we can go back and forth, or we can just meet in the middle or something. I just don't want to get these offers. People send you, if you're selling something for $100, you will get 100 offers for $2, for $5, for $10. People are just desperate to get stuff for cheap, and so it's just a waste of your time to have to reject all those offers. So I choose to do a minimum offer, and I'm happy to do that right now. I might change my mind about that in the future. Okay, since I don't have any photos yet, I'm not going to click this schedule your listing, but I typically do schedule my listings. I usually have like a week or 2 weeks scheduled out. Right now I just have like 2 days because I've been kind of lax, I guess. So if you want to schedule your listing, you just click this button and then choose the date and the time when you want it to go live. eBay puts almost everything in, what is this, Pacific Daylight Time. So if you're telling it, I want my listing to go live at 12 a.m., what is that? Is that 10? Is it 2 hours earlier here? Well, I'm in Chicago, so I think it's 2 hours earlier here. So keep that in mind. Another issue with the website versus the app is not in Pacific time, it's in your local time. So it's confusing to say, I listed that thing for 5 o'clock. Why is the app telling me it's listed for 3 o'clock? But it's just something you got to deal with. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. I'm not ready to list this or schedule it. Here's where you can choose how you want to do shipping. I have all of these shipping policies that I use. I'm not exactly sure what it looks like if you don't use eBay's business policies, but you can just put in here. I think you just select in here the kind of shipping you want to do. So you would probably, if you don't use shipping policies, you would probably go in here and choose ground advantage, calculated ground advantage, USPS. There's something it's something like economy rate or something like that is one of the options. I'm not sure. I have all of these options that I created, and I use them pretty much. I pretty much use calculated ground advantage. Lately, I've been doing this. Well, sometimes I do calculated media mail. Sometimes I do, if it's something really big, it's going to go through FedEx for me. But right now I'm going to click this thing that I made, which says flat small economy. So that's, it says $7. That's what I titled it, but it's actually $7.22. I just put that 22 cents in because it seemed like it would feel to the buyer like a legitimate random postage price. Not if it was just $7, they would be thinking maybe this only costs $4 and this guy's overcharging me. But if it says $7.22, maybe they're thinking that's the actual shipping cost. It's very rarely, if I do this flat rate shipping, it's on stuff that's small and light, and usually those things cost like $4 to $6. So if I do flat rate here, flat small economy, I'm typically making $1 or something like that each time somebody buys something just on the shipping. Okay, if you choose calculated, you definitely here you want to put the package weight, get yourself a scale. You can find a good scale on Amazon with a detached screen, and find one that has the highest capacity you can, because you never know. Like right now, you might think I'm only going to be shipping Pokemon cards, but in the future you might decide I'd rather be shipping microwave ovens. I can make more money doing that. So get a scale that goes up to I think mine goes to 40 pounds, maybe 400 pounds. I'm not sure. Anyway, get a good scale. Get one with a detached screen so you can see the screen if you put a package on there that blocks, if the screen is attached to the scale, it might be blocked when you put your package over it. So get one with a detached screen. I recommend getting one that measures pounds and ounces versus pounds, decimal point pounds. It's a little bit easier. Right now, since I'm doing the flat rate, I'm not going to have to worry about this. I will put this information in when this item sells, but right now I'm going to skip it. So that's it. Then I will go down to the bottom. Oh, here you can choose things like your return policy. I offer free 30-day returns on most items. If it is something that is for parts or for repair, I would change this to say no returns. Does it have my... No. Okay, then down here you can do ads. This is like the general ad, which basically is like, I will give you X percentage. I'll just turn it on so you can see. They're recommending 12%. They want me to pay them 12% of whatever the sale price is in order to show this listing to more people, or theoretically show this listing to more people. If somebody sees that ad that eBay puts out and then they buy my item, I would pay 12% of this. I'm only going to sell it for $10. I'm going to give them $1.20 of that if I leave this 12% on. I typically do like 2% I've been doing. Lately, I'm not doing it at all. I'm testing out to see if I can still get sales by not doing any promotions on any of my new items. I'm also doing a little protest because they're doing some weird stuff. I would say unethical stuff with their promotions in some other countries, and I think it's probably going to come to the US soon. And so by not using it, I'm doing some little protest. Okay, then there's also this priority promotion, which is basically you say, I want to spend X amount of money per day. And then every time they show that listing to somebody, they charge you money. They take some of that money out of your whatever your budget is for this campaign. I'm never ever going to use this unless somebody is able to convince me to do it. Every time somebody clicks on that ad, you pay them money even if they don't buy it. So I don't like that idea. I'm not going to do it. Down here, you can choose to send a portion of your income to charity. I only have done this one time, and the item never sold. I have a bunch of comics by a comic creator called Eddie Piskor, and he unfortunately committed suicide. And so I thought I would try to give any sales from these books to a suicide prevention organization, but that those items never sold. So you can I think it's basically, I think you could choose the charity, and then you can choose the percentage of the sale that you want to give. So I'm going to turn that off because I'm not doing that right now. Charity. And then rather than listing it, I don't have the photos in here. I'm just going to click save for later. So now I've got this thing basically ready to list. I'll just have to go through, take pictures of it in a little bit, and then list it. Unfortunately, this is only a $12 item. I paid $2 for it, so it's not a good, it's not a great. Yeah, these Goodwill stickers are tough to get off, so I'll work on that later. Okay, okay, let's look at this. Here is a Dremel. I don't know why it has this binder clip on it. I have no recollection of buying this. In fact, I might have a use for it. I probably should keep it, but I'm not going to. Okay, so this one has a barcode on it, so that makes searching it a lot easier. Usually I use my phone because searching it is you can just scan the barcode. So let me open that, go to search by photo and then search by barcode, and then I can search that. So right now there's one brand new one. There are only 4 of these listed. The cheapest one is $44.65 and the highest one is $65. So let's change the condition to new because this one is new, and it's still those 4. But then I'm going to filter and go down here to sold. 4 have sold. 4 are currently listed. 2 have sold. One for $35 and one for $40. So whoever's asking for $60 is probably not going to get it. This would be considered like a 50% sell-through rate. Only 2 have sold and only 4 are listed. So it's not a great sell-through rate, but it's not terrible either because This is something that somebody needs. For sure, somebody needs this. And they will probably buy it. So I should have left that open. I would have gone into, well, let's just do it again. Okay, gonna go to search, search by photo, search by barcode, and then let's get it. And now let's see the sold ones again. Filter, scroll down. I don't know if you can see this or not. Scroll down to sold. eBay could really make this a lot easier. They should have like a seller research mode. Okay, now this one that sold for 40, that's the highest one. So this one is actually, neither one of these is a good title. I'm gonna go ahead and click sell one like this. And then I'll come back here to my laptop and you'll see we're back at the drafts page. I'm going to click refresh and then we get that one that I just said create. Now I'm going to hit resume draft and I'm going to change this title. First of all, I'm going to take new out of the front. That is not necessary. Any words that are all capped, you better have a good reason for doing it. Grout is not a good reason for doing that. Grout removal attachment should be capitalized. Basically, you want it to be like a book title. Every other word, I mean the first letter of every word capitalized. Multi-Pro. Let's see what's actually on this package. Dremel carbide. I don't know what Multi-Pro, where they get that from. Maybe their package is a little different than mine. They have made in the USA in their title. It does say that in this package. I'm just going to put USA to save characters. Grout Dremel tool. I'm going to take out the word with and put W. At the end here, I'll put new. How many characters we have? 65. So let's go back to copy this, go back to ChatGPT. Go back to this same listing or the same chat we've got going, and then I'll put this in. Here's a slightly improved version. Dremel tool model 285 USA made with grout attachment. I don't know that this is exactly a multi-tool. I guess in a way it is. Now we go back to that listing and put that title in. 72. I'm going to put tile in here because it says replace broken wall tile on this thing. And I guess that's 67. That's going to be 68 characters. I'm not going to get another 2 characters in here. So now I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet, put this in. Now, this has a price tag on it of $6.99, so that's, I usually assume 10% tax, so I'm going to put $7.70 as the item cost. All these other fields will get filled in after the item is sold. Back to complete the listing. Okay, now I'm in my custom SKU field, $7.70. This came from Goodwill. I don't know the date. I put those 4 question marks. Dremel, battery included. I don't think it has a battery. Number of pieces, I'm taking that out because there are definitely more pieces in here than 1. Clear. I have the UPC number, so I'll put that in 080596013837. Sometimes eBay is able to fill in details from the UPC. In this case, no. Number of batteries, type toolkit. I'm going to put multi-tool. I don't think it's exactly a multi-tool, but maybe it is. Model 285. Is that on here anywhere? Yeah, 28501. I'm going to put this longer number. It says R28501 here. So I'll put that under the MPN, the manufacturer's, what is it called? Manufacturer's part number. Okay, battery technology. Attachments included. Yeah, these are features of it. It's black, made in the United States. I don't know if this stuff is true, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it. Custom bundle, no, I'm not going to worry about that. Take that off. I'll put new. So then you'll see now the condition doesn't give you an option to put anything in because it's new. So, all right, then we'll write in here Dremel tool in original package. Package shows some minor wear from age. So that's my description. That's exactly what I would put in the condition field if I could. Buy it now. That last one sold, the most expensive one sold for 40. I like to do 99s, especially in this case, $39.99. There's something like psychologically the first digit is the most important one. So if somebody sees a 4 there, they might think it's more expensive. You've seen stores do this, you know they do. Okay, this is going to be 80% of 40 is going to be 32. 32 there. Schedule your listing, calculated ground advantage. So this one I will do calculated. This is probably not right. It's gonna be 12 by 9 by 4. I know I have some boxes that are that size. And I'm gonna run quickly to the next room and grab my scale and weigh this. Okay, I have several small, like more like postage scales or kitchen scales sitting around that I have, like the one shipping scale that's right on my shipping desk, my workbench. But I also have these other scales that are smaller and portable. So if I'm creating listings like this in different locations, I can easily weigh something and put that in here. So this one's, it's like 1 pound something or other. I'm going to put 2 pounds 1 ounce and try to this is to adjust for any packaging materials. Well, let's see, what does it say? 1 pound 12 ounces. I would usually do like add 10 ounces for a package this size. That would be 1 pound 22 ounces. What are there, 16? So it's probably like 2 pounds. Popped open. I'm gonna put that back together later. I'm gonna put in 2 pounds 8 ounces. It doesn't matter once you get over 1 pound, and if you're under a certain size, the changes in postage rates change. They hit at every pound. So in this case, putting 2 pounds 1 ounce would be exactly the same as putting 3 pounds. So the cost would not change until I hit 3.1, 3 pounds 1 ounce. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so usually I know once I put in the package weight, I'm done, because I'm gonna, in most cases, I'm gonna offer that 30-day returns. I'm not gonna change these things down here, so we'll save that for later. That one's ready to take pictures of and get listed. So we'll save that for later. Okay, this one is gonna be difficult. So this is a back scratcher, or possibly a shoehorn. I think it's a back scratcher. From, it says Walt Disney World on the back. It's got Goofy, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, and somebody bought this as a souvenir from Walt Disney World. So let's try looking this up. I'm going to close some of these tabs, and we'll start with my site search shortcut E and put in Disney World back scratcher and see what comes up. Okay, there's a Mickey Mouse one, there's a Mickey Mouse one. This is the one. Somebody's selling it for only $9. So let's try looking at sold. I thought we were going to have a hard time finding this. Let's look at what's sold. Okay, this is Tinkerbell, $26. Here's a lot of 4 that includes this one, $25. So this is not going to be a very valuable item. Here it is, sold for $15. If you can't find any examples, this sold search goes back for 3 months. So if you want to go back further than that, you can go to, I'm going to leave this open, and I'm going to open this and go to eBay. Move this over here so I don't mix up myself up. I'm going to go to my eBay here, and then if you go under research, there's a tab here called research, and underneath that is product research. This used to be called Terapeak. There was a company called Terapeak that kept this information, and eBay bought that company, and they just recently changed the name of it from Terapeak to product research. So here you can search Disney. Oh, I spelled back wrong. That might be making it problematic. Disney World back scratcher. This is going to show you, first thing it's going to show you is average sold price. So if you don't want to spend any time, you can just use this price, whatever they come up with. But like I was saying earlier, eBay does not know what you're selling. They just are doing their best. So I'm scrolling through here and I don't see this exact same one. That's Lilo and Stitch. That might have sold because the new movie. Here's the same one, souvenir back scratcher. This one sold for $4.99 at auction. So yeah, auctions are bad. Now I have another one of those quick site searches for Terapeak. I put TE and I put it in, and then it sorts them. It automatically sorts them for me by highest to lowest. So in this case, the highest one sold for $48. This is just a Mickey Mouse one. It looks older. I'm not sure why that one would be worth more. Here's 2 that sold for $30. Here's 2 of these. This is mine. That sold for $25. So this again is going to be another $12 to $15 item. This cheapest one is $9. What are they doing for shipping? Free shipping. Why would you sell something for $9 plus free shipping? That's crazy. They're going to have to pay eBay fees, and then they're going to have to pay. I mean, this thing is long. It's going to have to go in a long box. It's not. How long is it? It's not long enough. Okay. It's not long enough to require an extra large box, I don't think, but it is. It's about 15 inches. Okay, my battery's about to run dead, so I'm going to do this as quick as I can. Go back to this one. Go to this one. So one like this. You can see how quickly you can go through there. Vintage, okay. Walt Disney World back scratcher. Putting vintage after that. And then let's go here. What did I pay for this? Kind of a lot. $4.40. Goodwill. Question. Item category is fine. Mickey Mouse, China. I don't care about where it's made. You can put your own fields in here. I don't choose to do that, and I choose to remove them if other people have done it. Year unknown. That's a waste of time too. Okay, used. I'm going to put nice. I'm going to put back scratcher in good vintage condition. I missed the S on scratcher. I got this new keyboard. I got this new computer, and some of the keys don't work all the time. I think they just need to be pounded a little bit more. I'm going to put $15.99 on this. I'm going to assume $12 is 80% of that. Calculated grounded vantage. I am going to weigh that. So I'm going to put 18 by 6 by 6. Probably won't get in a box that big, but that size, but something close to that. And the weight of it is only 8 ounces, but I'm going to add 10 ounces for the box. So I'm going to put 18 ounces in. Up to 99 ounces, eBay will turn those ounces into pounds and ounces, so you don't have to worry about that. And then that's done. Save for later. Okay, we only went through 3. My battery's about to die, so I'm going to call it for tonight. I don't know how long this was, but thanks for watching. If this was a success, I'll do it again. And then hopefully you learned a little bit of something. Or I'm not really in the teaching business, but maybe you learned something. We'll see. Okay, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much. Subscribe, follow along. I'm trying to earn some money this year, and I want you to watch. So thanks for sticking around. Bye.